Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we have another Masters gameplay Pikachu game. Wait, I've never done that. We have a Masters gameplay VOD review, but we're going to be playing Pikachu. Now, I am going to be queued up with Lush and Coco. So Coco is going to be on Lucario. It's like the only character he plays or something. Mr. Mime is going to be Lush, and then we have a Jungle Gardevoir and a Snorlax. So the other two teammates aren't paired up with us, but I'm not going to lie. We had this idea. We're starting to execute on it, but then I started seeing something a little bit more. I actually think that this could be a really good team comp. Granted, the Gardevoir could be like a Greninja, but if you wanted to have the Gardevoir for late game, it's really interesting. But this is essentially the setup. Also, just for the sake of saying, in terms of ranked games, their team comp is like really good. If the Machamp was Lucario, they would have like a super meta team comp. So but this was the idea. Mr. Mime is a support, but he's not a traditional healer, and he does bring some good CC to the table. Like, he's got his wall, stun, confusion, but he does bring burst damage. So we were trying to go for like a bursty, like aggressive lane, because everybody knows that Pikachu is pretty good in early game, and Pikachu's not that bad. He just doesn't scale that well. But I think that if you have like the right setup, the right team comp, the right amount of burst for the abilities that Pikachu does have, it could be really good. So let's go ahead and watch this gameplay, and I'm going to kind of talk about like what we were doing or what we were trying to do, how we were doing it, and why I think that this is actually like fairly decent to do. So like I said, just looking at the team comps, I think that this could be a really good team comp. Lucario and Snorlax kind of just speak for themselves, if we're being completely honest. You don't really have to know anything about that. And then as for the Gardevoir pick, it's interesting because I think that we have a strong early game, so Gardevoir can really kind of round out the late game, or you could just do something consistent like Cinderace or Greninja and Jungle. Yeah, I think that would be fine either way. In this team comp, you probably don't want to go like another all-rounder in Jungle. I don't know, maybe, but like you could have a Zero Aura, and that could be really good or something too. So I don't know, just something to think about. So we're starting off on Thunder Shock, and yeah, just kind of hitting the lane with Lush, and we were starting to get a little bit better doing this lane because you have to kind of coordinate a little bit with Mr. Mime and Pikachu, but I think we were starting to get it down. So we, like I said, we wanted to have a bit of an aggressive lane, so I think we go for their Audino, if I remember correctly. And these early fights, like the really early ones, are a little sus. Like they're not super easy. Oh yeah, and they had their Apom up, which I get, so that's interesting. But essentially what you're going to see us doing a lot of the time is trying to set up the wall and the web combo. So I electro web somebody, and then we try to put the wall behind them, and then like clap up with some damage. So yeah, we were kind of getting, like I said, bullied in the really early section of it. So I think it's like, while it's like an early aggressive thing to do, you kind of have to know like the really early beginning, like I guess like weaker part of it, I suppose. But after I get my, like, what is it called? The Electro Ball? Is that what it's called? I don't even remember. After I get the ball, yeah, Electro Ball, we have a little bit more burst, and then he gets Confusion. We're like a little bit better off, so you'll kind of see how we're looking to set it up. And honestly, you guys all know, or you should all know, that Electro Web is just really strong. So like early game, really nice. So the web actually doesn't hit my target, but look at that damage. That was like exactly how I envisioned this going, where we set up some CC, we start hitting them really hard, and yeah, we can burn them with a kill. So this one, it didn't even work out the way that we really wanted it to per se, but it's still just like really strong early burst damage. And then we kind of throw right here. I lose vision, and it steps me forward. So we kind of threw that part right there. Not a huge deal, it is what it is. But you're starting to see like what our goal is for like the lane. So, and I think we start doing better here in just a bit. So I'm just kind of peeking around the map, watching Gardevoir and checking her like her level and stuff. But look, we get the web, we get the wall, we get the burst, boom. Like, that is exactly what we were going for in this lane. I think that it's just a lot of damage to deal with. And the irony is that even though I think that Pikachu falls off, and even though I don't think Mime is like the best support in the game, they're not really bad. Like, I think Pikachu needs a light buff in the end game. Like, truly, I think that that's kind of what he needs. And I think that Mime is just a really niche character. But I've been talking about Mime and saying that I think that Mime feels like he needs a comp. Like, Mime needs a specific comp. And this actually feels like it could be something really good with it. So we're looking for the setup. I do see that the Gardevoir is coming in, and like we have kept this Cramorant kind of like really held down. Unfortunately, right here, there's a lot of people for us, so we're just gonna go ahead and back up. But we're posturing for the Dreadnought. Me and Lush have just been doing our thing and trying to set things up right, and you'll continue to see us doing that throughout the game. So Coco's running down. We're just trying to get as many levels as we can, and we'll be here ready for the Dreadnought. So let's see, always looking to set up the Thunderbolt. I do like Thunderbolt in this build. You can get a lot of AoE CC, so you can see just like looking for the setup, Lush was throwing out the wall. So even so, like even when we're not doing it like 100% perfect, because we were still trying to get better at doing this kind of a combo, we were still getting some decent results out of it. So big setup there. Don't remember if he gets a wall. So it doesn't, like the wall right there, like what didn't quite land the way we wanted to, but you can still see that we're just like winning this hard poke war with the Electro Ball having that like AoE on it a bit. You know, looks pretty nice. So it's actually funny right here. I'm going to shoot my Thunderbolt into the bush, if I remember correctly. And I thought like, oh, darn, I didn't get anybody, but I think I'm going to hit the Greninja. So it actually turns into a kill. But we're just like looking for potential setup, trying to see if we can get the wall off. We do get that. The slam or the heavy slam was able to get it, and then I get another kill on the Blissey, just kind of blind. So again, just like really winning this poke war. We have a lot of burst. Look at that. Again, shoots out the wall, like follows up my CC, shoots out the wall. And so, you know, Mr. Mime being a support, really just acting like a follow-up damage dealer, and still again brings good utility to the team. So is supporty in that way, as I'm trying to help Coco get out. Do we do it right here? Look at the setup, boom, boom, and just like tons of damage, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pop off and go with ult. So since I had my ultimate, I always like to use my ult a little bit early, because you just start working on getting the next one. You don't necessarily have to use it there. Like that's not really the best ult, because it doesn't really secure anything for us. Like we literally already had everything, but I just wanted to get the kill. We were being kind of like silly and trolling around a little bit. So as we go toward the top lane, obviously we were going to try to look to get the Rotom. This is much more like solo queue play. I could peel back and help them, but I'm just coming up here to farm. And I don't really think we ever like hard focus on leaving people in the bottom lane for the experience or like offlaning or anything like that. But this Greninja came in and we were just kind of clapping up a little bit. And I'm just playing forward because this poke is just, you know, it's really interesting. You kind of play Pikachu a lot like Cramorant, where like when you have your abilities, cool, step forward, use your abilities. When you don't, you just kind of back up. So looking for potential wall, look at that, just right there. That's the exact combo that we're looking for. Unfortunately, Greninja just pops off. Lush tried to save me with the Buddy Barrier and his ultimate, but I died just really quickly. But you can see the synergy. Like I can Electro Ball or Thunderbolt people. Lush can put the wall right behind them with the Mr. Mime, hit him with the confusion, and yeah, it's just a lot of damage. So it's really just like a much more like CC setup, like damage burst kind of team, I suppose. And like I said, as far as yo, someone followed in the middle of my recording. What's up? I think that's my Twitch follow alert. As far as like the actual team comp, like Snorlax and Lucario, they really don't need introductions. So we do kind of lose out on the top lane a little bit, and we'll just go ahead and reset, go bottom. So they get a little of experience. They're going to get some points, but it's not really that big a deal. Not really that big a deal at all. So as we're going to the bottom lane, my recording like froze a little bit. Just kind of looking up. I wanted to bait the Cramorant in so I could get him like in a combo, but then I saw the Machamp. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that. I don't think. Oh, so he flashed it. He eject buttoned it. I was actually giving Leash crap about that one. I was like, wow, you missed again. But no, he just going ahead and flashed that. And don't want to be grouped up for the heavy slam, so I'm kind of just watching. I'm watching the Cramorant because he keeps trying to turn in. So I don't know. We're just gonna mess with him here. He just keeps trying to turn in. I think we get this kill here. Yeah, we do. He doesn't. He's not able to get away. He got stunned by the Moon Blast, and we just go ahead and pick him off. So now we're coming back down. They're still winning their fight, doing their thing. And look at that, man. Lucario just doing so much damage. I'm looking for the setup. Just throwing out my Electro Ball, trying to get the slows and the CC if I can. Just doing the damage. So yeah, we definitively win this one. And yeah, we just go ahead and take Dreadnought. So pretty good, pretty good. This Dreadnought is actually a little bit past the 330 mark, so we are going to get the debuff on Zapdos, but it's not that much past. What is it going to be, like an 18-second overlap? So something to think about. Not that it matters too much. And look at that. That's the exact setup right there. I mean, granted, there was 4 of us there, so she probably wasn't getting away anyways. But that's what we're looking for, the burst. Again, as far as the jungle pick in like a team comp like this, I'm not sure. We're not, like I said, we're not playing with the Snorlax or the Gardevoir. I'm not sure what would be better. Like, I think having the Gardevoir could be really good. It's just more CC, more setup. And obviously Gardevoir, like jungle, I feel like I've proven that it's pretty decent, it's pretty good. You can bring a lot to the team in the end game. This is just a much more burst focused team, which I think could still work just fine with any other traditional jungler. But we do get picked off here, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I stay alive here. But that's fine. We're a little bit too far without having like our full team grouped up. So I'm down, but they're trading a little bit, it looks like. Or trying to anyways. You know, 12 seconds left before Zapdos. Just trying to follow up. They overstayed because that's what happens in a lot of these games, and I'm just getting the CC here. So he doesn't have a wall up, I don't think, but you'll see it. I mean, you can probably see it anytime we're looking to set it up. I keep saying I think that Kramer's going to try to ultimate on us because he was like hiding in the bush, but at this point he's just caught out of position, and I go ahead and space out this ult, but the Lucario burst was just so much, so they just go ahead and take him down. And if we can get Coco here, that's what we were trying to do, was get Coco's 50 points in, and he going ahead and dunks that in, which is crazy because he literally dunks it in between two people. And we're just kind of spacing and doing our thing. Look at this. Look, wait for it. Oh, just shy of like being behind the wall, but still like really good damage follow up on the like the combo coming out from Pikachu, or from me on Pikachu. Now this is where I step in the bush to chase the Blissey, and I didn't realize that the Machamp was there, so I just go ahead and pop Unite move. We double pop Unite move, which is crazy shields. We have the setup here again, like he can't go anywhere. Like it's just the fact that, like, I think one of Pikachu's issues, okay, I died to the Zapdos, I remember that. She accidentally pulled Zapdos, or I did, someone did, so then I die for it. It's not a big deal. I think one of Pikachu's endgame issues is that a lot of the time you kind of throw your abilities and it doesn't feel like the damage like sticks. Like the damage just kind of hits and they like walk away and like, okay, cool. So I think what makes Pikachu better is having like potential setup, having people that can follow up on that damage. And you know, that could be like a Machamp. Maybe like a Machamp jungle could be really good because I could like slow somebody or hit them with Thunderbolt and then they could run in and grab the submission. I think that anyone that brings like heavy burst to the team, or anybody that brings like a good follow-up amount of CC, could be huge. Look at that, like that 3-person Electro Ball. Like you can't say that this is useless. It's definitely not the most damage. Again, in this situation, like this kind of damage just doesn't, like, it doesn't feel super impactful. Like I'm not doing that much. I eject button out of the submission, tried to make sure I got that. But when you have the follow-up damage, when you have the wall, like look at that, like that, the character just can't move at all. Like you're hard CCing them, you're putting them in that deep slow, and then you followed it up with the burst. I actually think that this is probably, honestly, if I was to play Pikachu, if I wanted to be a Pikachu player, like I feel like Pikachu Mime is like probably the way to do it. As far as a full team comp, I think something along the lines of what we have here is pretty good, but that's what I'm thinking. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm genuinely curious. You know, I think that Pikachu is on the very low end of strength when it comes to Pokemon Unite, but that doesn't mean that he's useless. And yeah, I got excited to try this out. The build was a little bit different than what I had originally played, but it was a good time. So in this one, we actually stick around. So I go into the battle record, and you can see we had tried it out a few games. We were trying to really perfect it a little bit. And then I'm looking at the damage, and look at the damage. I mean, 92,000 damage is crazy. I was doing Wise Glasses. I had the Muscle Band. So lots of damage in the build with the Buddy Barrier, just because it's Buddy Barrier. And yeah, with the follow-up, the ability to stick that damage to really like I don't know, it's Pikachu. Like, Pikachu's not bad. He brings much more to the table, kind of like Ninetales. So my recording's restarting, but he brings a lot more to the table, kind of like Ninetales does. It's not like Ninetales just does a crazy amount of damage, but it's more so that Ninetales brings like CC and damage to the table, and I think that's where Pikachu kind of fills in. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it. As always, friends, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.